Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Energy Inside Motion. I'm here today with my guest, Madi Saskia.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How did you get into the creative industry?
It's like known that I didn't like want to be anything to do with music, to be honest. I wanted to be a history teacher, but I'm like a person that says everything happens for a reason. So when I got my grades back, I didn't get a good grade in history, but music, I got like a distinction star. So I was like, okay, cool, this is my path. But when I was in school, there was a program called Music Potential, which was put on by Punch. And it was basically just like a little summer program where people like learnt music skills, whether that was radio, events, I think there was songwriting, music production. So I did that. And then I guess from there, being accepted onto that, we did like a performance at Coco, and like we learnt how to write songs and do like, I guess like audience engagement when we're on stage. And then I guess from there I haven't stopped. So yeah, that was like 2015. So like we're in 2026 now.
Okay.
So yeah.
What was your sort of like environment like growing up, and how did that impact your journey?
I'm like mixed race, so like my mom is a lovely white lady. But yeah, that music growing up was like, it was very pop. So it wasn't very like R&B heavy. It wasn't like, I guess all the music I would have had growing up, like if I had my dad more present in my life. But like he came into my life when I was in my teens. So he showed me like reggae, lovers rock. He showed me like dancehall, and like then like my music kind of like broadened. Also like being in school, like I'm from a place called Smethwick, so it's a lot of like grime, like road rap, but it was also like hip hop. So there was just like a broad range of music for me, like growing up. And then like I also did this thing called rock school where I learned about like rock and like more jazzy and soulful type of music. So it's just like everyone around me had their own little thing, and I kind of just loved all of them. I didn't really like have a music genre that was like, this is my favorite. I kind of just gravitated to all of them, and I guess my music is like an amalgamation of all of those things combined. Yeah.
Was there any members of your family who were also into sort of creative outlets?
So like my brother and my sister will tell you that they like rapped when they grew up. And my sister was in like, I think said she was in like a Big Dog Yoga music video when she was younger, but I guess like no one ever like really pursued creative stuff. My uncle has a little radio station, and my dad was a DJ. And my dad's not with us now, but like he was like a really big, like, you should sing. Like he was always trying to get me to do dub plates, and I didn't manage to do one before he passed, but like he was like, sing. Do you know what I mean? But he was like really the only person that did anything creative outwardly. Yeah, because my mum, she's like a secretary, so she's kind of like, she loves music but not in the same way that like my dad did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around what sort of age did you actually start creating your own music?
So I did GCSE music, so naturally I had to compose music for my assessment, but like intentionally doing it for myself, it was off the back of doing that program. So it was like 15, 16 where I started fully listening to instrumentals and writing music to like put out into the world. So yeah, like a really long time ago now, like almost 12 years. Yeah, a really long time ago.
In what sort of way has creating music allowed you to develop as a person and as an artist?
I think it's like very cliche. Like a lot of singers will say that like, if I didn't have music, like I wouldn't be here. But like, I've experienced like a lot in life, like from bullying to like things at home and like house stuff. So it's like, I've literally felt like I've reached my breaking point on like most occasions. And like people will tell you like journaling is like an amazing thing. But to be able to like turn that into like music form, so there's like a frequency to that, and like you can heal through it, and you're hearing your own stories, and you're just like, okay, cool, there's more acceptance. The more I sing these songs, the more that I like, I guess like hear these songs like through the speakers, like it normalizes like feelings that like we lock up inside. Like music allows me to do that. So yeah, if I didn't have music, I would definitely be insane. Definitely be insane. Like there's no shadow of a doubt about that for sure. Yeah.
What sort of topics and themes are in your music mainly?
It's I think it's just where I'm at in life. So there's a lot of like love. I'm like a serious lover girl, but I think love comes in so many forms. I think like, I guess in music we kind of think about romantic love a
Mm.
lot, but there's platonic love, there's family love, there's love for things.
Mm.
I guess I talk a lot about my mental health because that's like where I'm at right now. The project that I'm working on, it's about like trying to navigate love when you're really sad and
Mm.
lonely, and not understanding love for yourself. So like those are the kind of things that I speak on. I'm trying to talk about like happier things because I'm in a better place in life now. But
Mm.
yeah, like mainly where I'm at and just being really like
Mm.
deep and personal because I think when you are so honest with yourself and in the music and allow people to hear that, it allows them to be a bit more honest with themselves as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
What sort of like impact do you want your art and your authenticity to have on people?
For them to do that for themselves. Um, I've like I'm like quite shy as a person,
Mhm.
but I'm also very open, and that's why my music is the way that it is. But like I don't aim to be
Mm.
famous. That's like not. I don't
Mhm.
want that to be on my
Yeah.
bingo cards. Obviously, we can't help the cards that we're dealt. So if that's where I'm heading in life, then fairs. But like
Mm.
where I'm at now, it's like beautiful for me. And I think just like acceptance,
Mm.
because that's what I'm doing through every song that I write is accepting a different part of myself. So
Mm.
if you can listen to that, maybe like learn from a situation that I'm singing about, or just use it as like a chance to be inspired to be a bit more honest with you.
Mm.
Like that's all that I can ask for. But yeah, just like listen and experience the music
Mm.
as much as you can.
What are some different ways that you implement self-love in your life?
Oh, different ways I implement self-love in my life. I wish I had a better answer.
Mm.
I think the only way I kind of do is writing songs,
Mm.
and admitting to myself that I'm not like okay or I'm going through something. Um, but actually
Mm.
taking time to like focus on me and like look after me, it's something
Mm.
I'm terrible at. And to be honest, like I had my friend cuss me on the phone the other day and he's like, you're not good and like you're trying to pour so much into other people but you have nothing.
Mm.
You have nothing in you, and it's so valid because like you literally cannot pour from an empty cup. You
Mm.
cannot. And yeah, I'm trying to do more, but I love a walk. That
Yeah.
is like one thing
So.
I do. I yeah, write songs, which is my form of journaling. And like, it seems so dumb, but I make sure I eat. People forget to eat, and they don't realize like because it's like drilled into us that this is like a thing we need to survive. That
Mm.
like it's still a form of self care to make sure that you've got like food in your
Mm.
stomach and you're drinking water and you're making sure that you're resting.
Mm.
So yeah, I've been taking a lot more no days,
Mm.
as in like cool, you're at the studio,
Mm.
not feeling up for it, I'm gonna stay at home and rest. So yeah, those I guess
Mm.
are the best ways I can say I'm doing it right now, but I wish I was doing more.
Mm. What are some ways that you sort of tackle exhaustion in creative work, and what are some ways that creatives or artists can tackle it?
I think we are so blessed as creative beings, I say it all the time, to be able to create because we are the only life form that is able to do that
Mm.
in a way that is understood. Obviously, I don't know too much about the natural world, so scientists don't come for me because they may be doing some beautiful things over there. But like to be able to consume art is a very
Mm.
human thing, and we have the ability to create.
Mm.
So for me, um, we need to remind ourselves that we're human beings and
Mm.
we need to rest. So if we're tired, say we're tired at a normal job like a
Mm.
Starbucks or like a Primark or whatever, like you'll go home and you'll chill out. Do you know what I mean? But I
Mm.
think we as creatives, we're always in this unstable industry, so we keep going and we keep going and keep going, and most of us have setups at home, so there's
Mm.
actually no escape from being a creative. We're always creative in our mindset, so it's like
Mm.
it's okay to pause, like,
Mhm.
and give yourself grace for just wanting to be a person for a second. And I don't know, making sure you feed yourself and going to sleep
Mhm.
and like going to see your friends and talking about things that aren't music. I was speaking
Mhm.
to someone yesterday and he was like, I grew distant from my friends because I was pouring so much into my creative arts. But I was like, did you have fun with those friends? Like, were those friends important to you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, sometimes we zoom so deeply into that practice of making a song or like taking a photo or like shooting a video that we forget that there's a whole bunch of people around that don't even understand the wavelength that we're on, and it's like those are just as important. So like lean into the humanity of yourself, because that will inspire the creativity. So it's okay to just take a rest and like create like a healthy cycle for yourself of creating, because the human is just as important to the art. Yeah.
I think something as well is like overconsumption, like consuming too much.
Yeah.
Like information and other people's art as well. Like you
100%.
consume that much information online that like it blurs your
Yeah,
thoughts.
100%. I'm terrible for being on my phone. Like, as in like I'm not on it. Like I hate like if I scroll for more than like 2 minutes, I just feel like I'm going insane. So I'll like put my phone on do not disturb or airplane mode, and like I get cussed out by my friends like, how are we supposed to reach you? But like I literally find that like maybe my brain and my soul is quite old, but like I just don't function in this like internet like technology generation. I really don't. So like yeah, I think just pausing for a second and not always like looking at your phone, because like it just feels like pressure.
I think it's intention as well. I think only looking at things that you actually want to see
Yeah.
and that are actually giving you energy.
Yeah. 100%. Like going into like that algorithmic thing and saying, oh no, I don't want to see this, or yeah, I do want to see this. Like right now my Instagram's just like food. Like I'll get like a random person who's like promoting a song or something, but like most of it is like how to make a tiramisu or like a single serve like cinnamon roll. Like that's literally what's on my Instagram right now, and I think it's like refreshing, especially when I'm in a creative space as well. It's nice to just be like not like over flooded with everybody else's art, because it's very easy to get like influenced as well by things as an artist, but even just as a human it's really easy to be influenced by like things that you see. So yeah, just turning off the phone for a second, like living like they did in the 80s, like this is good for the soul for sure. Yeah.
Something I want to know is about your creative process. So what's your sort of like creative process like when making music?
I guess it just depends. My creative process for making music is really based off comfortability and connection. Most of the time I'm working with a producer. I prefer to work from scratch. We can like build the vibe together, but like conversation is really important to me. People talk about safe places all the time, and I think like, yeah, they can be structures, but they can also be people. And feeling safe with a person, especially when creating, because it's such a vulnerable thing, especially with the type of music that I create. Conversation is really important. But like in terms of like getting to the song, from that conversation, usually a concept is like brewed up, and then like I'll create like a dumb story, like this man, like he cheated on me and now he's at the club with the girl and I'm seeing them, and like these are all the feelings and emotions, like this is what I'm doing, I'm walking across the room, and like I'll try and turn that into a lyric, or I'll just like hum a melody. And like most of the time, like when we're humming as artists, like if you listen back to the voice note, it sounds like we're saying something, so then it's just like filling in the blanks. But it really does just depend on like where I'm at in the space. I might also like already have a song written and someone builds something underneath what I've already got melodically. So yeah, there's like loads of different ways to do it. I don't think I'm like a person who sticks to like one thing, because I like to keep myself on my toes, if that makes sense.
So with artists, so obviously when an artist is building their own persona, what do you feel like they should consider when doing that?
Everything about themselves. If you're like really political, like all of those kind of things, like doing your research into brands and like who you want to like partner with and stuff like that. But Sasha Keeble, I'm like a really massive fan of her, and I have been for, when I say like at least like 10 years, because she's been doing music that long. But like a lot of people are being reintroduced to her, but like if you saw her 10 years ago, she wasn't this like red-haired like really like, I guess like Colombian forward, like and like kind of using that as her like, what's the word I'm looking for, as her identity. But like more recently she's really been leaning into that, from like the way that she like dresses to like her hairstyle to like even like the instrumental choices that she's using. Like she's kind of like reinvented herself, and it's beautiful and it's so authentic to her. So literally just think about everything about yourself, to like the music that you listen to when you grew up, to like what is your actual like cultural identity. Like think about everything. What's your favorite food? Like who's your favorite artist? What's the type of clothes that you like to wear? Because as much as like we can play a role, like we still need to be comfortable. So like who are you comfortable being? Because you don't necessarily have to mold yourself to what the industry wants you to be. So I guess there's like loads of things, but being authentic to yourself is like the main thing. So ask questions about yourself, maybe even look at talking to other people about how they see you, and like understanding what you look like from other people's perspective. Like yeah, like looking at how Sasha Keeble was like a woman who was like really sick at music. But I guess on the surface, she just like a white girl from England who was singing. But now you learn a bit more about her, and she leans into that identity a bit more. And like now she's taken over the world on a global way. And it's like actually you're being so true to yourself more than ever, and it's so beautiful to see. And I really wish that like people take inspiration from that and keep moving forward. Yeah.
So, I've watched you perform live before at night.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
And
I'm joking.
no, that's really good.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, like, what sort of goes into your live performance, and what do you think makes a good live performance as well for artists?
I definitely like recently have been a bit more shy. So like me on stage is a bit more like reserved than I would like usually want to be. But I also think like the music that I'm making now allows me to stand still a bit more. But I think for me, going into a live performance, I need to think about where I'm going. And I learned it the hard way. I had a booking with Mostly Jazz, and I naturally have quite slow songs, but it's like a festival, it's outdoors. Like if you think about Mostly Jazz, Funk and Soul, it's very like upbeat, like big bands. You got Craig Charles DJ, and it's very like disco, like heavy, and like everyone's in the field dancing. And then I come like singing Say Yes and all my slow songs like Hard to Love, and then like everyone was like vibing, but like you realize there's a time and place for like certain music. And it's like they weren't necessarily wanting to like be like mellowed out at that at that time. But then you realize that in other places like it's really like I guess appreciated because it's more intimate, and it's like in a smaller venue, and there's like 100 people in there, and they really just want to listen to some music. But yeah, I think that goes into it. But also like what's the intention behind all the songs? Why are you even choosing the songs in your set? For something like Say Yes, I make it sound way more emotional than it needs to be, but it's a song about like, I guess like it's very sensual. So it's, for me, it's all about how can I bring people into that world. So it's about a lot of eye contact. There's a lot of like body movements, like my hips swaying and stuff. It's like choosing like movement and like physical direction that feels intentional to the song, so people can feel what the song's about a lot more. Standing behind a mic stand and being still is also just as powerful as like, I don't know, doing a Beyonce breakout routine. But again, it's all about the intention and like the vibe of the room and like what you're trying to bring.
What are some different ways that you've managed to like improve your confidence as an artist?
I would say I'm not like naturally a confident person in myself, but like as an artist, like just accepting a lot of stuff about myself, like accepting like things like not being okay, or accepting that I'm not the most confident person in myself, and like just like being more true. It feels cliche and I feel like I'm repeating it, but just like being true to whoever I am at that moment and meeting myself wherever I am. So if I'm sad, like I'm sad, and I'm like outward in that, do you know what I mean? Not in like a destructive way, but like I'm not gonna hide from being sad. If I'm happy, I'm gonna let people know that I'm happy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I think I'm learning to like accept who I am and love myself a bit more. So I think that allows me to be a bit more confident with how I show up. Like I'm quite an anxious person. Like even just having this conversation with you is like hard for me. Like at the start, I was like shaking my leg. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like, oh, I feel a bit like shaky in my chest, but like I know that that's me, and I'm confident in that. I'm confident that, and I'm confident in the fact that I'm an anxious person. I'm confident in the fact that I have depression. I'm confident in the fact that I can write a song. And I think I'm confident in the fact that there's literally no one on this earth that is like me, and there's no one on this earth that is like you, and there's no one on this earth that is like Dan. And do you know what I mean? We're literally one of one. So if I can't be confident in myself, then it doesn't make sense, because there's literally no one else that can walk in this same path that I will. So yeah, I think that's how I am more confident in myself, but also more confident in my writing, because yeah, I am me. That's all I got.
I feel like inner dialogue plays a big part in the way that you speak to yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that you speak to yourself, that can actually change how you feel as well.
100%.
And like labels as well. Labels are a big thing. Like, don't try and like attach labels to like emotions and like different things, because then while it's good to accept it, it can make it like a part of your identity, and it can make it like harder to get out of that as well.
100%. 100%, man. 100%.
Something I wanted to ask about is your song "Hard to Love."
Yes.
I love that song. How did you? What was the creative process like for that song?
Yeah.
And
So I, at the time, was living in a flat in Edgbaston on Gillett Road, which gets like a bad rep because it's like known for like female workers. But like at the time, I was like, I'd been couch surfing for ages. I've been really battling with depression. I was really trying to find somewhere to live and not just like live at my sister's or on my friends' sofas anymore. So I got this place, and then I had this laptop, and I was just like making music every day just to like not go insane. And then my friend Frankie introduced us, because we weren't really, I knew of him, but we weren't close at the time. And he came around, and like I was teaching him how to produce because I was making music. And then he had shown me something, and he was like, oh, but I'm gonna delete it. And I was like, no, like leave it with me, please, I beg, because it's like there's something in it that is like calling to me. So then like 24 hours later, like I'd had the song written, and then I sent it to Jordan, and I was like, we're always looking for a song to collaborate on. And it's like my musical guilty pleasure to like throw a song at Jordan. He's probably like bored of me at this point because we have so many, like we literally have so many songs. But like I literally love collaborating with him. So like when I wrote it, I was like, I have to send it to him. He sent his verse back like stupidly quick. And if you know anything about our journey, and our songs that we've written together, like a lot of his verse like includes song titles that we've had together, so it really feels special to like listen to the way he articulated himself on that song. But yeah, like at the time I wanted love because I was alone, and I was really scared to just have that acceptance that I was just talking about and say like, I'm sad, I'm going through this, my family has this kind of issues going on. Like I was ashamed of where I was at, but I was alone, so I kind of wanted to fill the void, which obviously in hindsight isn't the most healthy thing to do, which is what I'm writing about in these songs. But yeah, I just wanted to be loved, and I was like, what does acceptance sound like in a song? To just be your full authentic self to a person. And I think the more that I sing it, it's like, oh, no, it's from my perspective. I'm actually singing it out to people. But then when they sing it, it's from their perspective. And actually, yeah, sometimes I do cry. But then sometimes I'm okay. Like right now I'm fine. But like this morning I was bawling. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I need you lot who listen to me to understand where I'm at, because I don't release a lot of music and you ask a lot of questions. I also need to be like really accepting of where I'm at, but also I need like everyone else to be in the same place, because we went through a madness for like 2-3 years where we were locked inside and we didn't have human connection, and we did feel like a shun of loneliness, and like whatever struggles you had in that time were just amplified. And like I lost my dad in that time, so I was grieving on a whole nother level. So yeah, I just wanted to feel love, but I also needed to say like, this is not going to be easy, because I require patience. I require like a shoulder to cry on a lot of the time. Like I require reassurance. I require all of these things. So from like me just like allowing Kingpin to come and like learn how to make beats, to him showing me that, almost throwing it away, to me being like, this is where I'm at. Let me write it in my like musical journal and send it to my friend to see what he thinks. It became like this thing, and I was really like scared about it because it's like almost 6 minutes long. And some people are like, oh, it's a bit long, and it's like, that's okay, because like when you do listen to it and you listen to it in its entirety, you will feel like a resonance with it, because everyone's kind of been there in different levels, whether it's like you're like me who's depressed and wanting love, or someone who's genuinely just a bit lonely and is calling out for someone to be like, just love me. Yeah.
Okay.
That is hard to love. Sorry, I got real deep. I've got really deep. But yeah, that is hard to love. Yeah.
Okay. I was just taking it all in.
No, it's alright. That was a long story. I don't think I've ever really like said it all out like that. But yeah, I don't think I ever really like looked at it for what it was. But like when you sing on stage and like you look at people like who are complete strangers and you're just singing those lyrics, it's like, actually, I used to feel so scared to show up in rooms because I am like really sad. I'm like, what I feel like is a shell of my former self. Like I used to be the person that ran into the room and was twerking all the time and just like being crazy. Like you can like attest to that, do you know what I mean? But there's like, I can feel a light in me dimming, so like I don't show up on stage in the same way that I used to. But when you get to that song, which is like admittedly the final song in my set, so I do feel like a bit of relief. I'm like, okay, cool, it's over. It's like, actually, all those nerves that I felt, all that anxiety that I felt, all that insecurity that I felt, it's all okay, because it's just temporary. But it's in this song that I get to just accept it in front of all of you lot.
Something that like, when I've been two things, is like letting go of time constraints and don't attach like time or periods of time to certain memories.
Yeah.
Because like you'll naturally like compare where you are now to like, but it can be hard to like let go of that, because as you say, like it ties into like guilt and different things.
100%. I was lit. Like I was lit. Like
No, you are lit now. You
No,
gotta
thank
change
you.
the you gotta change it.
Thank you. It's just like a different form, but like when I say like I was like woo, like I would walk into a room like and like now I'm kind of like, hi everyone, you good? Like I'm still on a good vibe, but like I'm definitely a lot more like smaller in like how I show up.
You've got to recreate.
Yeah. It's just got to be different. I think I need to just like get divorced to the idea of like me in like me before my dad passed away, which is a very different version of me, because something really deep happened to me and that altered my brain chemistry. So I kind of have to like rewire it, and joy's not going to feel the same, because there's always going to be someone missing in that joy that I can't share it with. But like, I'll be okay again. It might take a second, but I'll be okay again. And like the litness will come back.
You've got to say that you are that now.
Yeah.
You need to be that.
Yeah, no, true. I am lit. Period. I am lit. You need to say it too. Go ahead. Do it.
No, man, it's cool. It's cool.
You're lit too.
I know I'm not.
Yes, that's the energy we need. I know I'm lit. Yeah, cool. Yeah, but no, it's about like, I just like get into a place where my energy feels good, but within me again. And it doesn't feel forced. Like I'm not trying to like put on a mask for someone. It's like, actually, I just feel really good in myself, and I want to let everyone know how good I feel in like not an obnoxious way. Yeah.
Something that I wanted to ask about some of your musical influences.
Oh.
So, who are some different artists that have influenced your sound and your style?
Yeah, so that music potential program I was talking about, I met a guy in the audition phase called Fire Don. He's a really sick grime MC. I know this sounds really random, but like our job was, it was really weird. We had like this John Mayer instrumental, which at the time like I was not really familiar with John Mayer, and obviously the sounds that we were listening to, a lot of the people were rappers in there, so they were kind of a bit like thrown off with the instrumental, but that was the challenge. And then I asked him, like, can you like listen? I was like there by myself. And he was like, you really remind me of like Marsha Ambrosius and Flowetry. And I was like, I'm 15 at the time. So again, talking about, I was raised by my mum who is white. So I was raised on like Dolly Parton and like S Club 7 and Liberty X and all these people. And like obviously a bit older, got R&B into the mix, but it wasn't, I didn't have that depth of knowledge. So yeah, I went home that day and there was another audition the next day, but I wasn't supposed to go to both of them. But I went home and I listened and listened and I listened to Flowetry and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am them. Because at the time I was really big on spoken word, which is why I rap from time to time. But yeah, the singing and the spoken word it resonated with me on such a deep level. So they are like really, really like pivotal and important to me as an artist and how I write and how I choose to, I guess, like conduct myself on instrumentals. Because Marsha, she sings like she's an instrument. Like she sings like she's a trumpet, but she also sings with a cadence of a rapper. And then obviously Flow Assist, she's the same. She's like spoken word, but she does it to like hip hop, neo soul instrumental. So she kind of has to have some sort of melody. So that's me. But then obviously like Janae Aiko and like the way she's honest in her lyrics. And then like Mahalia, like just being like a girl from like the Midlands who has like made it. And then this is like loads of other people like that are inspiring me that are new, like Shay Universe, and then like people from here like Some Honey and like Low, and then like this artist that I'm mentoring called Montana. But then you've got like your Lalia Coles and your Ella Moores, and like there's so many beautiful women that I get to like be inspired by and stand next to and stand on the shoulders of. Like they're all around. And I think for me, women are my biggest inspiration, whether I write about them or are inspired to write because of them, or just getting to listen to their music and be like, shit, you're good. Like, fuck, you're really good. Do you know what I mean? And like a lot of them are from Brum as well.
What are some different things that inspire you as an artist and as a person?
Life. I watch a lot of films. So like there's a lot of craziness in people's minds when they're writing these films. So like sometimes it's nice to just put a film on mute and like write what you think is happening. But my own life, it just feels like an episode of EastEnders at all times. So that I feel like that is enough. But yeah, just like life. And I think like a lot of singers are like that. I heard someone in an interview say that they wrote a song because they helped a ladybird back onto a leaf. And I was like, that is so beautiful. And I think sometimes life is really chaotic. If you look at the news and if you look at Instagram for long enough, you realize that like the world is in like a sad place. But life and like the concept of life and actually everything that's around you is quite beautiful. So if you like lean into it for like longer than a moment, you'll see that, and like that is enough to write about in itself.
Something that I wanted to ask you is, what is one of the biggest obstacles you've faced in the music industry and how did you overcome that?
Comparison, but also the change of, I was saying to you earlier, I'm like a bit of a granny, so I don't like being on my phone. So if the way of navigating an independent career is to prop up my phone at all times and create content and post it all the time, it's kind of like, but then also that mindset in itself is like one of my biggest obstacles, because I can't be stubborn because times have changed. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to like get with the flow of things or kind of just like get left. And stubborn me would be like, yeah, I'm happy to get left, but like also you want your music to be heard and be taken in the way that you want it to be, in the most like narcissistic way. So yeah, you kind of have to like do the thing. But I guess my old mindset.
What sort of advice do you have for women who are coming into the industry?
For women coming up in the industry, first I would tell them that they're beautiful, inside and out. So don't ever sway from that, because a lot of people try to tell you otherwise, and they're mean people, and we don't like mean people. I would say if you don't feel safe in an environment, run. But in that same breath, your voice matters. So speak up for yourself, because there's too many times where I haven't. And like, I felt the weight of that. I felt scared to go back into rooms because I didn't say that I didn't feel good about how someone treated me. And also, like, there's room for you. Like, don't let people think because there's like somebody else over there who kind of makes the same music as you, that you don't deserve a place. There's 7 billion, probably 8 billion at this point, like people on the world. If we can somehow find a way to like all live on this one planet, yeah, I'm sure there's room for like 3 minutes of your voice on the radio station or like in somebody's playlist. So like, keep going, but keep true to you, whatever that is, and like, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, because people try jingle you. If you don't know what jingle means, it just means take you for idiot. If you don't know what that means, it just takes the piss. You know what I mean? With your stuff. And yeah, just look out for you at all times. But like, on the deepest level, love yourself, because all of those things will come naturally if you have a strong sense of like, I'm here for me, and whatever comes into my life is supposed to be good for me also. Yeah, that's what I would say.
If the younger version of yourself could see the version of yourself now, what do you think would be the thing that they admire the most about who you are now?
Ooh, that I'm like still here. Oh, that feels really sad. I feel like, ooh, I'm gonna well up. But like, you're still here. So like, well done, because you tried to like hop skip off this earth many a times when things got hard, but you kept going. And you don't always know how to keep going, but somehow you always do. So keep doing that. Keep like winging it, because you're doing great. But you're like being true to yourself, and you were so scared to be who you were. Like, you were scared to be like the bigger girl. Like, you were scared to be like the girl like who didn't really like grow up in church, so didn't really have the big voice like that. You were kind of scared to be the person that spoke about being sad because everybody was talking about sex, but you didn't feel sexy in yourself because everyone told you you were ugly. Like, all of those things you overcame, and still became Madi Saskia, who people like somewhat like respect and value for her artistry. So like, yeah, big up yourself, like, because you don't do it enough. I think yeah, she would say all those things, but she would admire that like, I'm still here to even say that. Yeah.
In your music, you showcase a lot of authenticity.
Yeah.
What would you say is a way for artists to sort of translate their authenticity in their sound and their music?
Journal. It feels like I'll just like repeat myself, but it's genuinely being honest with yourself. Like, I am having a bad day, I'll write about it. It's so authentic to me. Like, my relationship was like, or that man did me dirty, or I was kind of toxic in that thing. That's me being authentic to me, because that's who I am. If you're more reserved and you just want to talk about sexual rock and roll, then you do you. But like, lean into that and be consistent with that, because that is who you are. But like, just be true to you. I don't know how I can tell someone to be more authentic in themselves, other than like, yeah, just research yourself, like how you would your favorite artists. Like, what foods do you like to eat? Like, what clothes do you want to wear? Like, what do you want to do your hair like what do you want your nails to be like? But on a deeper level, like, do you like yourself? Because it would start there, like yourself, and then go from there, because you'll find in all of that there's stories to tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something I wanted to ask is about collaboration. Who are some different artists that you haven't collaborated yet that you want to collaborate with?
Woohoo! I would love to do a song with Coco Stone. I think like he's like we've taken him from the 90s and just like and he's thriving. Do you know what I mean? He's thriving. But in the same breath, like Loyal Kana, like those two voices on that kind of neo soul, like boom bap, hip hop vibe, like but keeping it still very current to now. Like I would love to work with them. I would love to work with Children of Zeus. Like I message them all the time to be like, yeah, you know, if you ever want me to be in the studio, like I got you. But like even just like more on a like localized level. I would love to work with Lalia Cole, even though I don't know what that would sound like, because she's like our R&B pop princess. Like she's fantastic, and I don't know what that would sound like because our voices are like so different. There's an artist I work with called Montana, and I think like she's got such an old soul, and I would love to hear what our voices sound like together. But yeah, making more music with Jordan. I would love to make more music with Jordan. We talk about doing like a joint project all the time. Because I say he's like my musical soulmate. So like when I met him and we started making music together, it just felt so natural. So anytime I can make music with him, I will. But yeah, who would you want me to collaborate with? Just throwing a question out there. Spin the block on your. You listen to a lot of music, that's why I just threw the question at you. Sorry. You know, reverse on them.
Kate Smiles.
Oh, I would love to do. You know what's so funny? I had a song years ago called Furthest, and I was doing a remix of the song, and he was on the remix, but the remix never came out. So we kind of have an unofficial one, but it would definitely be good, especially because I feel like he's come leaps and bounds in his development as an artist. Like he's so authentic to himself. Like, and he knows who he is as an artist. Like now would be an amazing time for us both to like link up, because I think we're both in a similar place. Like we know what type of artist we want to be. So yeah, I'll send the DM after the thing's done. You know, I'll get in the studio.
I have like two more.
Okay. Oh.
I want to hear one with you and Lo Williams.
Oh, me and Laura in the studio all the time. We're just like working on her music. So like we never actually just say like let's sing together, but like I can hear that because we did a gig together where we sang, and I was like, oh, the tones make a little sense. Yeah.
Okay, I've actually got two more. So another one.
Said I only asked one, you know. I love that he's got four though, because I've been slacking.
Kazia Soul.
Oh yeah. I did a collab with her sister, but Kezia's got that like big powerhouse voice, so like it would be really really cool to sing with her. And I'm such a fan. I remember seeing her at Mostly Jazz that same year, and like there's something about like Kez that she just like she kind of like don't know what the word is. Presence. She has you in a trance, like because presence, she is so like she's got such a presence on stage that like when you watch her. You can't help but feel like heartbroken with her, or like on the same high that she's on, or like as happy as she is. Like she takes you on a whole journey, like, and just to even be in the studio would be like an honor. So like, yeah, I would love that to happen. Not you manifesting all these cool collaborations for me.
Another one. I'm not sure like what style you do, but I love Crease on that.
Oh my gosh, I love Crease. My Virgo brother, I love Crease. Like. Crease on, I don't know what he's on, but I know that. Listen, I'm there, and you know what it is? He's come from such a spiritual place. Like I feel like I would learn so much from him about like just the practice of making music, because I think he's so intentional with everything he does. Where sometimes I'm just like going off the vibes. Do you know what I mean? It would be nice to like talk to him and be like, this is what we're gonna create afterwards. I think it would be like a crazy world, that studio session. 100%. Yeah, amazing. Oh cool, I'm writing them down mentally for sure.
So I wanted to ask, like, when would you be working on like an EP or like some sort of a project?
So I've been working on one for years. Like I realized that I released Hard to Love in 2024. It's 2026 now. So Hard to Love was always supposed to be a part of like a bigger project, which is kind of like, as I was saying earlier, the navigating like love and relationships through the lens of depression, which is Not advised. It's not advised. To be fair, if you can do it, you can do it. But like for me, it shouldn't have been advised. I shouldn't have like went through it. But it's about the trials and tribulations of all of that, and how like loneliness can lead to some decisions that cloud your judgment and make you lack discernment in situations where you should have a lot of it. So that project will be coming out at some point this year, hopefully, and then I want to do like a live show for that. Do you know what I mean? I want to work on a joint project with Jordan. But yeah, that's like pretty much it. Like me and my manager had like a really deep conversation about like how mentally I've not been okay, and like physically I have a lot of different conditions that make it hard to just like navigate being an artist. So she's like, you just come back when you're ready. I'm like, okay, cool. I feel better in myself now, so it's like, let's make it happen. So we're gonna make it happen this year, and I've got like loads of ideas, and I think the fact that I've taken so much time away and gave myself that like rest that I definitely needed, and didn't force myself to do too much creatively, just to, I guess, to stay relevant. I can be a bit more intentional and I guess creative, because I'm not so like blocked with all this other stuff going on. In my life. So yeah, I hope people really like it. It's very different from what people have heard from me.
People will love it.
Oh, I really do hope so. But if not, I love it. So that's okay. You know what I mean?
So I was like listening to a lot of your music and stuff. Something that I think your vocals would sound good on is liquid drum and bass.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I work with Triller a lot recently, like, because I work in like events, or whether that's like doing the door or just like logistics and stuff. And like I've been going to a lot more like bassliney house stuff. Like there's a lot of drum and bass, jungle, which is not like a world that I'm like from. My sister's like a big raver, so she tries to like get me to like be down, be down and cool. But like being in that world and listening to it a lot more, it's like, ooh, actually like really soulful, deep vocals are really important also to that space. So like if I can offer anything in that space, I'm more than happy to, because I love collaborating and I love not being in a box, because like I said, I like opera and rock, and I really love folk music, and I love like house music now, but I also love dancehall and jazz and all these other things. So wherever like my voice fits and feels right.
So this has been an episode of Energy Inside Motion with my guest Madi Saskia. If you'd like to give the people your social media handles.
Hello everyone, my name is Madi Saskia. You can find me on Madi Saskia Music, and that's on everything. That's MADISASKIA and then music. Thank you for having me.
Of course,
Thank
of course.
you.